From the Wiltshire Times on Saturday the 1st of May, 1920. Last court, A.M. Clark of Minty obtained an order for the payment of £42, 15 shillings and 2 pence against Joseph Major of Hankerton. Major now made application for a new trial on the ground that ill health prevented him from attending the last one. Mr. Fred Wiltshire appeared for Major. Mr. Clark said the day previous to the trial, Major was out in his garden feeding pigs, and he had information from the doctors that he was quite capable of attending the court. Joseph Major said he went into the Cottage hospital at Malmesbury on January 16th and remained there for 2 months. In reply to the judge, he said he came out of hospital occasionally when the weather was fine, but as an old soldier who was in hospital, he did not think the case would have proceeded in his absence. His Honour ordered a new trial, and the plaintiff, Mr. Clark, then proceeded to inform the judge that the amounts owing by defendant were for bread and meal supplied over a long period. Fred Wiltshire, counsel for Joseph Major, said his instructions were that the defendant did not owe the amount stated. His Honour spoke.
Having examined the accounts, Mr. Major and Mr. Clark's books agree as to the amount owing, do they not?
The books were not in my possession until I received them by post in December of last year.
Be careful how you answer this question. Do you mean to tell me that these books, showing entries in 1910 and going back before then, were not then in your possession?
I have not had them since 1914.
Fred Wiltshire said the defendant had dealings with the plaintiff, but they finished just after his wife died, in March. Major joined the army in October 1914 and did not know the money was owing until he received the books by registered post.
He already had those books with him up to July 1914, which showed balances against him, and he must have been a fool if he didn't know there was money owing. The case is very clear to my mind. The books of the defendant prove the money is owing. There must be a judgment for the plaintiff for £42, 15 shillings and 2 pence. Major must also have the costs of both the hearings.
Fred Wiltshire asked that his client might be allowed time to pay, as he was in indifferent health. Clark strongly objected, saying Major had plenty of money and he had a witness who could prove it.
Mr. Major will have the ordinary time.